Okay. So I'm going to call us to order. The House will come to order. Majority Leader Garnett. Do you want me to? We can do a call. Because we don't, do we want to take attendance?
We could.
For those wondering, since we already did the pledge at 12:05 a.m., we did roll call, we did everything, we can just go straight into our regular calendar. Let's do announcements and introductions. Any announcements or introductions? Representative Gray.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, everyone. Today is East Boulder County Day at the Capitol. We've got a number of guests visiting us from East Boulder County today to view the process and talk with us, of course, outside the chamber about what they are thinking as far as what we're working on. So they're over here on this side of the room. Please feel free to stop by and say hello. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today, East Boulder County. Representative Landgraf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, please join CU Anschutz physician, Dr. Andrew Monte, who is an ER physician and is going to speak on marijuana, acute cannabis illnesses, including psychosis and the rise of marijuana-related ER visits, particularly for users of edibles and among children, tomorrow morning. April 25th, I think that's tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. downstairs in 109. And members, this is really important because this doctor's coming in to give us some good information. It would be nice if people showed up. And on your desk is this handout so you can read a little bit more about it. So you'll be prepared for tomorrow at 7:30.
Representative Kraftart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Business Affairs and Labor Committee, we have 7 bills up today. 150, 142, 157, 169, 156, 173. And this one is not on the calendar, and I want to make a special note of it for those people that called me at 7 o'clock this morning to check. House Bill 1330, yes, it is up on the calendar today. Thank you.
We'll do the... I know this is... I'm not... Okay, Representative Duran.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a pleasure to serve with you.
It is a pleasure to serve with you, Representative.
I would like to thank, today is HD 24 Day for me, and I'd like to thank all my constituents that were so patient with the time change this morning and have been here already probably a few hours. If you could kind of stand up. Thank you for attending today, and look forward to spending the day with you.
Thank you for joining us from House District 24. Representative Sandridge.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We just have a couple special guests from northern Colorado Springs, West Archibald, Larry Langston. I want to thank you for making the hike out here and being with us today. Thank you.
So, folks, we're going to do the tributes at the end. Okay, so Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is a pleasure to serve with you. Shout out to Aspen Academy in the balcony. From Greenwood Village, 2 classes of 4th graders. Welcome and thank you for visiting us.
Hello, Aspen Academy. Thank you for joining us. Representative Luntine.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. The Health and Insurance Committee are hearing 3 bills for action only, Senate Bill 5, Senate Bill 17, and Senate Bill 13. We're also hearing Senate Bill 61, House Bill 1320, Senate Bill 219, and Senate Bill 175. I'm hoping we make it at 1:30. We'll be in room 107. Those bills are not necessarily in the order of how they will be heard. So if you want to know the order, please see me offline. Thank you.
Representative Ransom. And Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just one more reminder, folks. Lunch starts in an hour. So if we're off the floor, the Aerospace Lunch Caucus will be meeting across the street. And if you RSVP'd, you can send your aide over to get your lunch. But hopefully you'll have time to sneak over, or hopefully we will be finished in time that you can go over and say hi to some of our friends over there that are waiting to meet with us.
Absolutely. It's less than 1 hour, so hope to see you there. And let's talk about aerospace and everything that's going on in our communities. Let's also continue to build Colorado in the next future for aerospace. Thank you.
Representative Tipper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Finance, we're meeting in room 112, and we have Senate bills 146, 205, 153, 218, and then House Bill 1329.
Representative Neville or Soper, are you guys? You have a tribute. Representative Michelson, Janae, and Soper.
They want to go after me. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, everyone. I have a tribute, and I'm going to ask that it be read at length. If I could have your attention, please.
Members, may we have silence in the chamber? We have a couple tributes.
The House of Representatives convened in the 72nd General Assembly hereby extends sincere commendations to the Rocky Mountain chapter of the American Association of Radon Scientists and Technologists. The Rocky Mountain chapter of American Association of Radon Scientists and Technologists is a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing awareness to the health risks of radon. Radon is a naturally occurring, colorless, and odorless radioactive gas that is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, and it contributes to as many as 500 lung cancer deaths in Colorado each year. Any home may have high levels of radon, even if neighboring homes do not, and elevated levels pose a serious health threat to residents. Approximately 50% of Colorado's homes have radon levels in excess of the EPA recommended level of 4 PCI-L, and all of Colorado's 64 counties are rated at high risk for elevated radon. Radon testing is easy and inexpensive, and families and the Rocky Mountain chapter of the American Association of Radon Scientists and Technologists encourages all Coloradans to test. All Coloradans are also encouraged to protect their families from the serious health risks associated with radon by reducing any elevated radon levels found in their homes, which can be effectively accomplished for the price of a typical home repair. RMAARST works with the radon industry to promote education and awareness to homeowners, school and daycare facilities, and all workplace facilities. The RMAARST efforts to raise radon awareness helps prevent the health risks associated with radon. The Colorado House of Representatives appreciates RMAARST's committed dedication to this project and wish them continued success. On request of Representative Daphne Michelson Janae, given this 24th day of April 2019, State Capitol in Denver.
Representative Michelson Janae. Members, you may be seated.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Please have a seat. So we talk about cancer often in this chamber, and when we look at the pieces of legislation that we are working on, cancer is amongst the things that we are concerned about. As co-chair of the Cancer Caucus here in the legislature, we had a presentation about radon last year. And the idea was this year we were going to have a radon presentation for the Public Health Committee. Could I have your attention, please? Thank you, just a little loud. We were going to have a radon presentation for the Public Health Committee, but then the Public Health Committee stopped meeting, so here we are doing a tribute instead. What I want to tell you is these are some wonderful people who are truly fighting against lung cancer, and when we look at the growth of cancer in our nation, we see every other cancer line shrinking except for lung cancer. So there are multiple factors in lung cancer, and what you just heard is that 64 of our counties are rated highly for radon. So this matters to all of our constituents, and I hope we would pay some very close attention. I'm going to introduce our guests with permission of the Speaker.
Please proceed.
And you have an opportunity to pop down to room 112 between 12 and 1 o'clock and pick up a box lunch, whether or not you RSVP'd, and visit with these wonderful people. We have Crystal Little, who is the AARST Vice President, Terry Kerwin, Rocky Mountain AARST President, Christine Kelly from CDPHE, Catherine Winter from Absolute Radon Safety, Doug Claddle from I'm going to get it wrong, CERTI, Gary Southern
and George T. Sanders, Don Bronson from Rocky Mountain Radon Control, Faye Dugan, who is a widow of a lung cancer victim, Sally Madden, a lung cancer survivor, Patty Dooley Strapelli, Boulder County Public Health, Dawn Gord, ACE Radon, AARST, and Adam Mickles from Certified Radon. These are the people keeping you safe, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand up and give them a round of applause.
Thank you for joining us today. Representative Duran.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Along with it being House District 24 Day, I also had a tribute to a really special teacher at Jefferson High School, and she was able to make it at 8:30 this morning, but couldn't stay because of the time change. So I still wanted to make the tribute to her.
Do you want Mr. Randall to read the tribute?
I'll go ahead and read
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Jefferson High School Spanish language arts teacher Yvonne Rodriguez has shown great dedication and commitment to her students and her profession. With the goal of receiving a seal of biliteracy on their diplomas, her students are now able to complete 6 years of Spanish language acquisition, with numerous students receiving college credits through the advanced placement Spanish language and literature classes. Yvonne's commitment to teaching her junior high students at the highest level guarantees them success in high school AP programs. Her efforts to further the education of children in her community have not gone unnoticed by parents, students, and her peers. Yvonne Rodriguez represents the finest attributes of one of Colorado's most valuable resources, its educators. In recognition of her service, the Colorado House of Representatives is proud to honor Yvonne Rodriguez and wishes her continued success in her future. I'm so sorry she couldn't be here today, but she is so honored with this, and we appreciate her so much, and hopefully she can get down to the Capitol maybe next session. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative Duran. I have a quick announcement. Representative Alex Valdez will replace Representative Byrd. Representative Sirota will replace Representative Snyder. And Representative Melton will replace Representative Sullivan on Finance Committee today only. Representatives Froelich and Sirota. Members, did I say Sirota? Oh my God. Representative Soper. Members, we have one more tribute. Please be quiet in the chamber. Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It continues to be an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you.
We have a tribute to a wonderful member of our community.
Hold on. Members, please be quiet in the chamber.
We have a tribute to a wonderful member of our community, a longstanding public servant, an all-around great guy, and we ask that Mr. Randall please read the tribute.
The Senate and House of Representatives convened in the 72nd General Assembly hereby extend sincere commendations to Mayor Ron Rakowski and hereby recognize September 24th of 2019 as Ron Rakowski Day. The Colorado General Assembly is happy to recognize and honor the contributions of Greenwood Village Mayor Ron Rakowski, who will soon retire from the position. Mayor Rakowski was appointed Mayor Pro Tem of Greenwood Village in November of 2005, after serving as a council member of District 4 since November of 2003. He was officially appointed mayor by City Council in 2011. Beyond his service as mayor, Mayor Rakowski has also worked for the Board of Adjustments and Appeals and the Greenwood Village Building Authority. Currently, Mayor Rakowski serves as the chair of the Arapahoe County Justice Coordinating Committee and as Greenwood Village's representative on the board of the Denver Regional Council of Governments. Finally, Mayor Rakowski has served honorably in the military for many years as a judge advocate in the United States Air Force, retiring after earning the rank of colonel. We hereby commend Mayor Rakowski for his years of dedicated service to the community of Greenwood Village and the state of Colorado, and wish him many happy and fulfilling years to come. On request of Representatives Matthew Soper and Meg Froelich and Senator Jeff Bridges, given this 24th day of April, 2019, State Capitol in Denver.
Representative Soper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a real honor to be able to recognize Mayor Ron Rakowski, who's joined us today in the corner of the chamber. If members could recognize him for a second. Mayor Rakowski is a close personal friend of mine, and Representative Froelich had the honor of serving with him on Greenwood Village's City Council. I actually met Ron here at the state capitol. He was working for the credit unions many years ago when I was an aide back in 2005. He is one of those individuals that, regardless of party, looks to mentor individuals to make them better leaders. And perhaps that was from his many years in the military with the Air Force. When he retired in 1994, he had 675 people under his immediate command that he oversaw, including the legal complexities of Desert Storm and his missions at the Pentagon. Since then, he's been an individual who's embodied public service to its fullest. Some people, when they retire from the military, go off and do other things. Ron went ahead and served on Greenwood Village's City Council, and we can let Representative Froelich be the judge, but I also helped him get elected as mayor many years ago during his first run. And so it's just a real pleasure to be able to recognize Ron and his wife here today. They have both been tremendous public servants to Colorado, and the amount of community service that they have provided our state is beyond measure. Thank you.
Representative Froelich.
And so, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And so we are joined by Mayor Rakowski, his wife, Margaret, who is a professor, a retired professor from the Air Force Academy. We're very grateful that you're both here, as well as our Mayor Pro Tem, George Lang, and neighbors Sharon and Ted Gelt. So thank you so much for coming. Unfortunately, our mayor came at the correct time, so he's really absorbed the feel of the chamber, both empty and now full. And so we're just so grateful for your friendship, for your mentorship, as a colleague, as a terrific public service. So thank you so much, Mayor, and thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rakowski, for joining us. Representative, I am so tired right now, Carver.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colonel Rakowski, when I was in the JAG Corps, Colonel Rakowski was a renowned lawyer, leader, mentor, one of the true icons and shining stars in Air Force JAG. Sir, an honor to see you again, and it is a small world.
Representative Beckman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What a pleasure to have Mayor Rakowski here. He served with my husband when my husband, Bruce Beckman, was mayor of the city of Littleton, and I served with Mayor Rakowski for many years as a county commissioner. And he's just the kind of public servant in the local government that gets things done. So many of the road projects that we have at Arapahoe County, Mayor Rakowski was a driver for Arapahoe Road, Parker and Arapahoe, and the Arapahoe County is a better place for having such a strong leader. It's so great to see him this morning.
Yes, Representative Bockenfeld.
It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve
Madam
with you,
Speaker.
Representative Bockenfeld.
In 2010, I chaired the Denver Regional Council of Governments. And if you want to talk about real sausage making, that's where it's done. If anybody's been at any of those meetings, and Madam Speaker and myself worked together back then, but they would come up and everybody be talking and somebody'd say, you need to get a motion on the floor. And everybody's head spinning like, how do we take all this information and yet put it into a motion? And I used to lean over to Ron Rakowski, the mayor of Greenwood Village, and I'd say, Ron, can you help me out? And he would use his legalese, and somehow, with a group of about 54 people of all different shapes and varieties, he was able to always get a motion put together, and he was our motion maker. And here's to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, representatives. We have a couple more tributes. Apparently, you all were very busy writing tributes last night. Representatives Arndt and Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Randall, will you read the tribute, please?
The House of Representatives, convened in the 72nd General Assembly, hereby extends sincere commendations to the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries, Rocky Mountain Chapter. The recycling industry has long been involved with the critical process of manufacturing end-of-use products into feedstock for mill remanufacturing purposes. Metal recycling is one of the USA's and Colorado's most successful efforts to ensure environmental sustainability, reduce landfill material, and provide a stable resource of employment. Recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions by requiring less energy to manufacture products from recyclables and produces energy savings of up to 60% per ton for steel and iron. It conserves our natural resources as well. Recycling 1 ton of paper saves 3.3 cubic yards of a landfill. 1 ton of steel conserves over 2,500 pounds of virgin iron ore, and 1 ton of recycled aluminum saves more than 4 tons of virgin aluminum bauxite ore. Metal recycling in Colorado employs 1,700 employees and has a $1 billion impact on Colorado's economy. Members of the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries remanufacture over 1 million tons of metal in Colorado on an annual basis and account for 85% of all metal recycling in the state of Colorado. The members of the Colorado House of Representatives are proud to recognize the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries Rocky Mountain Chapter for their continued efforts and work on the behalf of our environment and wish them the best of luck going forward. On request of Representatives Jenny Arndt and Lisa Cutter, given this 24th day of April 2019, State Capitol in Denver.
Representative Arndt.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You can sit down. Thank you. We just wanted to bring this tribute today because I think that the scrap metal recycling industry, honestly, it makes you smile, but it also embodies a lot of things that are exactly our Colorado core values: manufacturing, local businesses, and taking something and making it into something else. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and I'm proud to bring this tribute today.
Representative Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And thank you, Representative Art, for having me join you with this today. I am pretty passionate about being a good steward of our environment, and part of that is waste reduction and recycling, and I am eager to ride along with you and learn more about scrap metaling, and really happy to be part of this tribute today.
Members, we have one last tribute. Representatives Sane and Esgar. And members, if you could please stand. Please stand. Representative Esgar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, if you are wearing jeans or have experienced sexually violent crimes or know someone who has and you'd like to join us in the well for the tribute, please feel free to come down. You got it? Oh, you got it. Okay.
That I remembered it this morning. Like a total of 2 hours of sleep.
I know.
We all gave you the version. Yes, we did. It was great. It was great.
Representative Esgar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Randall, will you please read the tribute?
And members, could you please be quiet in the chamber?
The Senate and House of Representatives convene in the 72nd General Assembly, hereby extend sincere commendations to National Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Every day, women, men, and children across Colorado suffer the pain and trauma of sexual assault. This crime occurs far too frequently, goes unreported far too often, and leaves long-lasting physical and emotional scars. National Sexual Assault Awareness Month is an ongoing reminder and effort to lift the veil of secrecy and shame surrounding sexual violence, and also to raise awareness and expand support for victims. Sexual violence affects individuals of all ages, backgrounds, and circumstances, and as a nation, we share the responsibility for protecting each other from sexual assault, supporting victims when it does occur, and bringing perpetrators to justice. The members of the Colorado Senate and House of Representatives hereby officially join in recognizing April as National Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We recognize that we must work to provide necessary resources to victims of every circumstance, including medical attention, mental health services, relocation and housing assistance, and advocacy during the criminal justice process. We also encourage Colorado communities to come together to increase awareness about sexual violence, decrease its frequency, hold offenders accountable, support victims, and heal lives. On request of Representatives Danae Escar and Lori Sane and Senators John Cook and Faith Winter, given this 24th day of April 2019, State Capitol in Denver.
Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, I truly am overwhelmed when I'm not only looking at the boxes here full of money, which I'm going to explain where that money is going to in a moment, but just the overwhelming support, even standing here and in this room, for those who have experienced sexually violent crimes. This is my 5th year here. This is the 5th year I've participated in this day, and I just wanted to give a brief history of why this happens and why we actually wear denim today. In 1999, a case in Italy came to worldwide attention when a young woman accused her 45-year-old driving instructor of brutally raping her during a driving lesson. He was sentenced to 34 months in prison before the case made its way to the Italian High Court. It was there that the sentence was overturned, and the chief judge released a statement arguing that because the victim wore tight jeans, he assumed she must have helped her perpetrator remove her jeans and therefore consented. Enraged by the verdict, the women in the Italian parliament launched into immediate action and protested by wearing jeans on the steps of the Italian parliament building. This was the beginning of what has now become a worldwide event that we're taking part in today, and movement to wear jeans is a visible means of protest against misconceptions that surround sexual assault everywhere. Wearing jeans is a conversation starter and a visual sign of your support of survivors, so thank you for those who remember today to wear your denim. It shows the power of communities coming together to support survivors and to take a true stand against sexual assault. And I wanted to just quickly tell you exactly where these funds that we have raised in the House today are going. They're going directly to CICASA's work to ensure that Colorado communities believe and support survivors, hold perpetrators accountable, and take action to end sexual violence, especially here in Colorado. So again, from the bottom of my heart as a survivor, thank you so much for your donations, and thank you for standing down here in the well, and thank you for your participation out there as well. I appreciate your time.
Representative Sane.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Jeans are not an alibi for rape, and no article of clothing is an alibi for sexual assault. Denim Day does bring a little bit more awareness to our goal to change minds and to change the culture so that no one, regardless of age or sexual orientation, has to experience the trauma of sexual assault. We are wearing jeans today, but we stand with the survivors of sexual assault today and every day. Thank you, members, for your generosity in making sure that we can change hearts and minds going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, members. Representative Herod.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I just want to add one thing to this day that I know so many of us have thought about, and I want to thank the sponsors for being inclusive in their language. When I was just starting in the General Assembly, I got approached by a young man who was a college student who was homeless, who had been sexually assaulted multiple times. And he was starting a group on his campus for men who have been sexually assaulted. And so we tend to think of survivors as women, and we forget that men are also survivors. And the number one group that is the victim of sexual assault and death is trans people. And so we need to be thinking about, whenever we're thinking about these policies, how to be inclusive of men and trans folks and those who are living outside of the gender binary who are often targets of sexual assault. And so, again, thank you so much for the bill sponsors for being inclusive. Thank you for all that you've done and telling your stories. Members, don't assume what a survivor of sexual assault looks like, what their life is like, but do make sure that we as legislators have the responsibility to ensure that they get access to the services that they need and that we bring them justice. So thank you.
Thank you, members.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to introduce a couple bills and then we'll start third reading. Introduction of bills.
House Bill 1331 by Representatives Hansen and Ransom, all Senator Rankin, concerning removing the limit on the departments of which the evidence-based practices implementation for Capacity Resource Center can collaborate.
House Bill 1331 is assigned to the Committee on State, Veterans, and Military Affairs.
House Bill 1332 by Representative Hansen, also Senator Zenzinger, concerning the use of money on Colorado telephone users with disabilities fund to provide talking book library services for certain persons with disabilities in connection therewith making an appropriation.
House Bill 1332 is assigned to the Committee on Education. The next order of business is third reading, and do you want to proceed out of order? Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for consideration of third reading of bills.
Seeing no objection, we will proceed out of order for consideration of third reading of bills, final passage. Mr. Randall, please read House Bill 1282.
House Bill 1282 by Representative Singer and Michelson Janelle, Senator Smallwood and Donovan, concerning administration of the court-appointed Special Advocate Program.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1282 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1282 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representatives Buck, Galindo, Kraft-Tharp, Landgraf, McLaughlin, and Soper. Representative Soper. Monsieur Soper is excused. Mr. Randall, please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1282 is passed. Co-sponsors. Representative Soper, that's a $3 fine. He just missed 1 vote. Oh. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1159.
House Bill 1159 by Representatives Hawkes, Lewis, and Gray, Senator Danielson, concerning modifications to the income tax credit for innovative motor vehicles.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1159 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1159 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representatives Arndt, Herod, McKean. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 25 no votes, House Bill 1159 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1325.
House Bill 1325 by Representatives Hansen and McKean, House Senators Priola and Bridges, concerning increasing consumer access to electric motor vehicles by allowing electric motor vehicle manufacturers to sell their own electric motor vehicles directly to consumers.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1325 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1325. Is there any discussion? Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I normally don't like to come down on third reading, but there was a news article that came to my attention this morning. It was actually published yesterday in the European Auto News that talked about how Ford is investing $500 million in Rivian. That kind of investment to me then goes again to what is this bill about? Is this bill really about helping a small company begin to get some market share? Or is it about allowing a manufacturer to directly compete against dealers. I guarantee there's not a dealer in this state that has $500 million at their disposal. But now all of a sudden, this small company does with a very big backer. Members, as we see electric vehicles become more and more of a trend in the thing, it's only inevitable that the large manufacturers are going to come in and turn their fleets all EV. And this bill is so broad, it allows for those manufacturers to directly compete against these small business owners who have been trying to work in an industry that has been around for 80 plus years. So again, members, I'm not saying that I don't want to see these companies come in, but this bill is too broad. It's not ready for prime time, members. So I would ask for a no vote on House Bill 1325.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Hansen.
Thanks so much, Madam Speaker. And members, we are absolutely ready for prime time. How do we know this? Because there are many other states that have already done this, and the sky has not fallen. Dealership model is alive and well, and believe me, many of these dealership groups absolutely have $500 million at their disposal, if that's what we're going to have a discussion about. These are very large incumbents who are doing very well. What we're trying to do with this bill is allow Colorado customers to be able to buy directly from EV manufacturers. That's it. We're not changing consumer protection. We're not changing the lemon laws. All of those same things will apply. We simply want an even playing field for other EV manufacturers so they can have the same treatment as we have already granted Tesla. That's what this bill does. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. This is a time for Colorado to take a step forward, provide more choice for our customers, allow new products to come to market, and not be kept out of the market because of the dealership incumbency model. That's what we're trying to address here. I please urge you to take a step forward as a state. Allow these new products to come and be available directly to customers. Please vote yes on this bill.
Representative Liston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, members, if $500 million, that truly represents a huge, significant investment. Make no doubt about it, $500 million that Ford is investing in Rivian is just the tip of the iceberg. And I don't begrudge Ford necessarily for doing that because I believe in the free market. But I also know that these so-called startup companies, that $500 million is not the only money that Rivian has gotten. There are venture capital firms and others who have invested that much or more in Rivian. And our dealerships in our communities, what is happening with this bill and all of the other tax incentives, the skids have been greased to give these, this company and Tesla a distinct advantage that that a lot of the other manufacturers don't have, and that the local dealerships don't have access to. Make no doubt about it, we are eviscerating 80 years plus of what we have encased in law here. In one fell swoop, we are throwing our dealers and their employees and their relationships overboard. This is not right, it's not fair, it's not the way to do business, certainly not the way we do business here in Colorado. If other states wants to do this and torpedo their good dealerships, let them do it. But we should not be doing this here in Colorado. I urge a no vote on 1325.
Representative Humphrey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just felt like I needed to come down when we hear that the sky is not falling. And it's 2019, and in 2020, probably the sky is not falling. But we are talking about something that's really going to seriously impact the dealership model in this state and all those businesses. So this is a big deal when Ford is putting all this money into this this company Rivian, which appears to have a very good product, very good platform in terms of the skateboard technology for the batteries. So this is growing and increasing, and when we create a whole separate track that upends the apple cart, that's very concerning. So I don't think this is the right bill, and I urge you to no vote. Thank you.
Representative McKean.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Folks, you never see me down here ever on third reading, and I would like to offer a third reading conceptual amendment that any purchaser of an electric vehicle be post-certified. Would anyone be willing to accept that?
Sorry, we don't take conceptual amendments from the well on third read.
Folks, you've heard me make this statement before, and truly, we have danced around this topic for a while. There is one manufacturer that is allowed to direct sell in this market right now. One. Climbed through a loophole, and they have an access to direct sell, and they're the only people who do. And I will tell you that what I made a commitment of in committee, and I will continue to flesh this out, is we probably need a larger stakeholding process as we go forward on how we actually incorporate the way the market's going to change. But right now, this truly is what the free market looks like. This truly is how you make sure that other manufacturers who only manufacture electric vehicles have access to that market. It's a little weird for me that we have this discussion of how we don't want that free market to be open. So I think it's a singular ask, which is that we make sure that we allow that access to the market, but that we do it with an eye toward businesses that are integral part of our communities, hundreds of businesses around this state who deserve not only our respect, but also our consideration as we go through these things, and to say, if this is the way the market's changing, then let's take a deeper, better look at it. But right now, this is an important piece of a free market. You don't let one company have access to a direct market like this and leave it at that. So I would ask for an aye vote, and I refresh that commitment to say, let's look at the bigger issue, because I think you put everybody in a room and you say, how do we accommodate the market as it progresses? I think we all win with that.
Representative Melton, this is your second time.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I keep hearing this, well, we allow one company to do this. Members, that one company, they didn't approach a legislator and ask that a bill be run when they wanted to do direct sales. They got in through a loophole. A loophole. It was unintended. There was no bill that was run that said, we want to let this one manufacturer sell directly to customers. In fact, they just piggybacked off of a different bill that wasn't intended for them. That was unintentional. So now all of a sudden, because they got in through a loophole, we should intentionally change an entire system? A system that's been in place for over 80 years? No. Members, I think there is a path to doing this, but unfortunately this bill is not that path. And this bill would open this up not to just Rivian and small companies, but to very large companies. And I keep hearing, well, the dealers can, they can compete. Name one dealer that has $500 million at their disposal. Name me one dealer that has the buying power of Elon Musk. Name me one dealer that can truly compete like that. You can't. Members, let's take a step back. Let's look at a more sensible approach to this, and let's not pass 1325 right now. I ask for a no vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1325 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Representative Larson, please vote. Please close the machine. With 30 aye votes and 35 no votes, House Bill 1325 is lost. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1264.
House Bill 1264 by Representatives Roberts and Wilson, also Senators Winter and Donovan, concerning programmatic efficiency for the conservation easement tax credit program in connection with increasing the transparency of the program, making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1264 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1264 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Representative Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning. Actually, I was just sitting there thinking it was just a few hours ago we debated this and didn't even realize it was on thirds, but it was before midnight, so here we are. And I wanted to just let you know that since last night, I've heard from a few people out my way, and they've been watching. They've been paying attention. In fact, yesterday when I was over at UC Health, I noticed even the little guy that parked my car, the valet, he pays attention to what goes on here, and I think it's great. So I want to talk just a little bit more about this bill. I realize we don't do a lot of talking on thirds, but this is the issue. You heard Representative McKean say that this is my issue. It's one of my many issues. I wasn't wronged by this program, but I have all these constituents that were. And I appreciate some from the other side of the aisle that came up to me last night and realizing that this has even happened here in the state of Colorado. They had no knowledge. And until your ox is gored, you don't know. It's kind of like having a set of twins. You don't know anything about it until you have one, a set of twins, and then you get educated real fast. So I was trying to educate them just a little bit, the ones that did come visit with me, and dig in just a little at a time, bite size at a time, because ladies and gentlemen of the House, this issue is not going to go away. This is a huge, huge, huge deal. I couldn't even tell you how much. Banks in Southeast Colorado are paying attention. The communities are paying attention because people have been wronged, the state knows it, and somehow we've got to come back and help. So yesterday we had some really good things happen. We had promises of people saying that they're going to help. They're going to help get this on down the road. We're going to make this committee work this time instead of just saying we're going to have a working group. We're actually going to make the committee get on down the road. I didn't get any of my amendments on. I had 7. But ladies and gentlemen of the House, I can't begin to tell you how important this is. When a state agencies do things and then they wrong landowners, taxpayers, and this went on not just a little bit. 783 people were wronged. 80% of those are in my district. I haven't even talked to all those people. I can't believe to tell you how important this is. The working group is a good part of the bill, but the rest of the bill needs work big time. They're going to change appraisals. Instead of the appraisal system, they're going to go another direction. They're going to go back a few years and do some retro stuff. Doesn't seem quite right to me. Have a big conservation easement in my area that for some reason they're going to go back and help them get that right. We've done a Cora on that ranch. Can't seem to get the Cora either. In fact, last fall, I sent Cora after Cora after Cora to AG's office. You know how many I got? 0. Let's dig in, Colorado. Today, let's send a message. A no vote would say, hey, it's not done yet. We're going to work on that next year. You rubber stamp this bill one more time. send it on. It just says, well, it's not my problem, but it is your problem. We're all Coloradans. And even though there's that rural-urban divide, there are people. We're all the same. We're all God's people. Let's work together. Let's do something for the people. Let's send that message. Please vote no today. Send the message that this bill needs more work. Send that message to that committee. We're paying attention. I urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1264 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 45 aye votes, 20 no votes, House Bill 1264 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 133.
Senate Bill 133 by Senators Janal and Todd, also Representatives Michael, Janae, and Buckner, concerning the regulation of genetic counselors in connection with making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 133 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 133 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Caraveo and Humphrey. Please close the machine. With 43 aye votes, 22 no votes, Senate Bill 133 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 230. Jeez.
Senate Bill 230 by Senator Moreno, also Representative Herod, concerning the Colorado Refugee Services Program.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 230 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 230 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Melton and Beckman. Is she? Okay, Representative Beckman is excused. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excuse, Senate Bill 230 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 2.
Senate Bill 2 by Senators Winter and Fenberg, also Representatives Roberts and Jackson, concerning the regulation of student education loan services in connection with making an appropriation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 2 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 2 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 40 aye votes, 24 no votes, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 2 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 59.
Senate Bill 59 by Senator Rain, also Representative Buckner, concerning creation of an automatic enrollment in advanced courses grant program in the Department of Education and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 59, third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 59 on third reading and final passage. Representative Larson and Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask for permission to offer a third reading amendment and ask that it be displayed.
Please proceed, Representative Larson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, thank you, members, for joining us here today. So we had a good moment in Education Committee. I think we can all use a good moment after last night. I was sitting here listening to the testimony on this bill, and Janet was doing a great job of presenting it. And she was talking a lot about how this particular bill had been a legacy item for her late husband, Representative Buckner, who I did not have the pleasure of serving with. But this bill and the subject matter just really spoke to me. You know, I came of age in 2000. I was 7 years old in the year 2000, and I said this in committee, when George W. Bush was running for president. And he is an oft-overlooked orator, and one of his more famous lines that you can look up is that he will fight against the soft bigotry of low expectations. And that was a line that really spoke to me personally in my political development. And this bill was really just speaking to that. And, you know, I could tell that this was something that John had probably spent his entire life on, and felt moved to talk about it, and decided what better way could we do to honor his legacy than to name the grant program that we are hopefully about to create after John. So I wanted to bring Representative Wilson up here also to talk about it, because I did not have the pleasure of knowing John. Sounded like he's a man I probably would have disagreed with quite a bit, but agreed with a lot philosophically, and especially on this bill. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Representative Wilson.
And members, this is permission to offer a third reading amendment. We will also speak to the amendment. So, Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is going to be a little tough for me, okay? I want to tell you what John was not first. He was not as sweet as Janet. What he was a passionate advocate, i.e. sometimes cranky, for education of his kids. He was a hard-nosed fighter with a huge heart. Sometimes he could be a little slow on getting things through up here, but once he did, he was on it. And here's the reason why I mention that. Because it took me a year and a half to convince him that he had more kids in his high school than the majority of school districts in the rural areas have in their entire community. But once he figured it out, we became a very strong team, because he understood when I said, John, don't you realize how many kids you've got in your high school? He said, sure I do, Wilson, which is what he called me. And Representative Buckner picked up on that phrase and uses it the same way. And we just work well together. Once he connected the dots, then he realized that things are different in the city than they are in the country. And it was really, really fun to do that. This amendment is well-deserved, and I commend Representative Larson, a young guy, but tremendous insight on this one, and he thought of this amendment, and he gets a credit for that, and I thank him for that. Representative John Buckner would be honored. He would be honored with this. He was a class act. and I miss him. Thank you.
Thank you, Representatives. The question before the House is Representatives Larson's and Wilson's request for permission to offer third reading amendment to Senate Bill 59. Is there any further discussion? Sure. Do you want to speak to the amendment or do you want to speak to permission? Representative Buckner.
What do I want to speak to?
You can speak now.
Oh my gosh. The committee meeting we had around this bill was absolutely phenomenal. And if John were here, he would say, okay, what's the fuss? Hurry up, get this done. Because he was an academic and he wasn't about show. He was about action. And he would love this bill because this bill is about action. He believed that every child, and I do mean every child, was challenged academically, rigorously. He just felt that every student should be pushed to their limit so they could be the best that they could be. He was all about can do. And I'm all about legacy. I want to finish what he started. And a lot of you know that I really have this deep spiritual belief. And I believe that my steps were ordered for me to become the state representative who filled John Buckner's shoes. Some of you don't know this, but when he was first elected, when he acknowledged that, when he found out that he won state rep in HD 40, and I have this on video and I've shared it with a lot of you, he said, "You've got the wrong person up here, it should be Janet."
Oh.
He really did say that. When he won the second time, he said, "Got the wrong person up here." And here I am. The other thing you need to know, you just need to know that I will do everything I can to make sure that all of us stay close, that we collaborate, that we can talk no matter what our difference is. And the other thing you know about me is I will share every experience I can with you to let you know what it's like to be one of those kids like John Buckner had at his school who were not allowed or were not permitted to take advanced academic courses. And you would not believe how many of those kids still reach out to me. They tell me, "Mr. Buckner said I could do this." So thank you so much. You have no idea what this means to me. This is going to keep his legacy alive, and I've decided I'm going to be here a long time, okay? I have no plans on leaving, but the anniversary of his death is very close, it's very imminent. And when I was working on notes for this bill, I've told some of you this, I found his handwritten notes about this bill. And that's when I knew I was doing the right thing. So thanks, Wilson. And thanks, Representative Larson, for being so intuitive and so caring and thoughtful to name this after my husband, because this is what he would have loved. Thank you.
The question before the House is Representative Larson and Wilson's request for permission to offer third reading amendment to Senate Bill 59. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, permission to offer a third reading amendment is granted. Majority Leader Garnett.
I move L1 or L10.
The question before the House is the passage of Representative Larson and, yes, Representative Buck.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I have to tell you, I was honored to serve with Representative Buckner. And I have to tell you, I was very blessed to join the funeral ceremony. And folks, as we know, there is a time when you're born and a time that you pass. And there is that dash. This dash was huge for John. This dash showed so much compassion for every student that he worked with. His house was like, come to the house and we'll feed you. You can stay at the house. We'll clean your clothes. We'll do everything. A letter from President Obama was read. I think it was Senator Bennett, Jared Polis, Hickenlooper. There was just so much love, so much love. It was anything I ever could hope for when I pass away. And I just want you to know what we have here with Representative Janet Buckner is right in line with what the other Representative, John Buckner, stood for in this Capitol. So you bless us with your being here, and God bless you and your family and all that you have done for so many kids in so many different varieties of ways. So I think we have another person, but thank you.
Representative Exum.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to come down and just share a few words. I echo the thoughts of the words that were shared earlier, and thank you, Representative Larson. Well done, sir. I served with John Buckner in 13 and 14, and he used to get so angry because the sergeants, bless them, used to call every probably 4 out of 5 times a week. Each week, I'd walk in and say, "Good morning, Representative Buckner." Say, "Good morning." And then they would call Representative Buckner, "Good morning, Representative Exum." And John used to get so upset. He says, "Why did they keep calling me you?" I said, "I don't know, but..." And then at the end of probably 3 times a week, not every day, but I would always go by his office after we'd finished committee and whatnot, and we'd tease each other. I'd say, "Hey, man, I made a couple of appointments for you for next week." And then in 14, when we were finishing up, when I really recognized some of the health things that were going on, we decided to walk from the Capitol up to Prohibition for a little get-together. And I told him, because I knew he was having problems breathing, I said, "Hey, man, I'll grab the car and I'll drive you up there." He said, "No, let's walk." And we'd walk for maybe 25, 30 steps. He says, and I'd look at him, I say, "Hey, let's take a break." And we stop for a minute, we walk a little longer and take a break. And so I miss his spirit. He used to call me when I lost the election in 2014. He would call me almost every other week, just checking on me. He said, "I miss you. How are you doing? I need you back here." I said, "I'll be back." But thank you again for honoring such a great man and such a great servant. God bless you.
Representative Ransom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I couldn't let this moment go by without giving a tribute to Representative Buckner, both of them. And I know that when we first had the pleasure of having Representative Buckner come here to replace her husband, I know that there were several of us that were trying hard to get a memorial for John after he had died, and she wouldn't let us. And so this is our chance to do this. And I'm sorry, she's looking away because she knows that I have been trying, along with several of you here that knew him, to get a memorial done. So this was kind of a great way to get this done and give us a chance to give a tribute to someone who loved his students. Honestly, I still remember my very first bill after I was elected and came here, what did go to the Education Committee, and no surprise, he voted no, but that doesn't matter. You know what, we talked about it, and I admire the man. I liked him so much. He would sit up there, and when he'd come down with his oxygen tank, he would be so invested in trying to make sure that everything was done properly. And as the chair of the Education Committee, he worked so hard to make sure that everybody had time to be heard. And he really, again, he loved his students. He also loved his wife. And we're so glad that she's here. And honestly, I wish that we could have done a true literal, actual memorial for him, but this is such a good second best. And seriously, we're glad you're here. And someday we will do a memorial for him. She'll let us someday. And we will have then an actual repeat of this that will be even better. And at that point, we'll be able to let some of the senators that served with him come in and speak too. So with that, the stump is still growing, my friend. And we are so glad to be able to have this bill named for Representative John Buckner, a man who truly loved his family, his friends, and his students. Thank you.
Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would be remiss if I didn't come up here. I started with Representative John Buckner, and he went from truthfully being more than just a colleague, being more than just a friend. John was like an uncle for me. He was almost like a father for me. I tease Janet because I call her Mama Buckner, and really, John was Papa Buckner. There couldn't be a better bill named after John, and I appreciate Representative Wilson and Larson for bringing this and for naming it for him. He worked on this so much at Overland. Overland is actually in my district, and I knew a lot of the kids that went to Overland, and when I was canvassing and walking and campaigning, and everybody knew John Buckner, everybody knew Mr. Buckner, and when it came to advanced placement, that he was so passionate about that and making sure that all those kids were challenged, that they had an opportunity to really show and live up to their highest potential. And when he came down here, he made that his mission. So there could not be a better bill than this one to be named after him. He is so missed, but we have another Buckner that has filled in his shoes so well. It took me about a week to transition from Rep. Buckner to Rep. Buckner without thinking of the right one. but Representative Janet Buckner, you have done such a terrific job filling his role, fulfilling his destiny, and having a voice of your own. So it's an honor to serve with you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. And thank you, members. And I urge an aye vote.
Representative Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I met John Buckner when I was 15. I went to a private school growing up until I got to my sophomore year in high school, and every team that we had in our high school was like 8-man. It wasn't a real deal 5A football championship team. So I decided I was going to go to Overland High School for a little bit to go play football. And I went to go play there, and John Buckner was my principal. And although I know you all believe that I'm well behaved, there's a tender spot on the elbow that if you got out of line for any reason, John knew how to grab you so gently and pull you and say, let me talk to you really quickly. It didn't matter how big you were, if you were a football player or not, he knew how to come and bring you in, but also teach you the lessons you needed to learn to be better. So I just wanted to be brief and say thank you, Janet, and thank you, Principal Buckner, for giving me a quality education, because without it, I wouldn't be a state representative. Thank you.
Are there any other members wanting? Representative Sane.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And like many of you, I've got a special corner in my office for those of us, regardless of their lobbyists or friends in the Capitol or legislators that have passed away. And for all the things we didn't get to say today, if you'd like to see this, this is probably the most beautiful memorial piece I've ever seen for a funeral. And some of the things it says in here is that John Buckner was the first Democrat and African American to win that seat. But he's also has a gym named in his honor at Overland, plus the STEM Institute of Technology and Science. But there's so much more in here, beautiful pictures of the family. So I'll pass this around, but just do make sure it gets back to my desk so I can put it back in its proper place.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is Amendment L010. All those, Mr. Randall, please open the machine. Members, please vote. Representatives Herod and Montine, please close, oh, not yet. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, no votes, and 2 excused, the Amendment L010 to Senate Bill 59 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 59 as amended on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of Senate Bill 59 as amended on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 59 is passed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 94.
Senate Bill 94 by Senators Lundin and Todd, also Representative Garnett, concerning the Legislative Interim Committee on School Finance.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to postpone Just joking. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 94 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is to postpone indefinitely The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 94 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Representatives Kennedy and McKean. Please close the machine. With 54 aye votes, 9 no votes, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 94 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the passage of House Bill 1327.
House Bill 1327 by Representatives Garnett and Neville, all Senators Donovan and Cook, concerning sports betting, intention of submitting to the Register of Electors of the State of Colorado a ballot measure authorizing the collection of tax on the net proceeds of sport betting through licensed casinos, directing the revenues generated through collection of sports betting taxes to specified public purposes, including state water plan through creation of the water plan and limitation cash fund, and making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1327 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1327 on third reading and final passage. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask permission to offer a very technical third reading amendment.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is just adding the bill number in the bill.
The question before the House is Representative Garnett's request for permission to offer a third reading amendment to House Bill 1327. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Hooton, Kraft-Tharp, McKean, Soper, Wilson. McKean, please close the machine. With 60 aye votes, 4 no votes, and 1 excused, permission to offer a third reading amendment is granted. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move L14 and ask for an aye vote.
The question before the House is the passage of Representative Garnett's amendment to House Bill 1327 on third reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Hooton, okay, please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, 1 no vote, and 1 excused, the amendment to House Bill 1327 on third reading is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1327 as amended on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of House Bill 1327 as amended on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 58 aye votes, 6 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1327 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 99.
Senate Bill 99 by Senator Todd, also Representative Tipper, concerning the revised Uniform Athlete Agents Act 2015 in connection with banking and appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 99 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 99 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Baisley, Catlin, Humphrey, Kraft-Tharp. Please close the machine. With 47 aye votes, 17 no votes, and 1 excuse, Senate Bill 99 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 155.
Senate Bill 155 by Senators Williams and Priola, also Representatives Kraft-Tharp and Snyder, concerning the continuation of State Board of Accountancy in connection with implementing the recommendations contained in the 2018 Census Report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 155 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 155 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Buckner and Van Winkle. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes and 1 no vote, 1 excused, Senate Bill 155 is passed. Co-sponsors.
The reconsideration.
Please close the machine. Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the reconsideration of House Bill 1325.
Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1325.
House Bill 1325 by Representatives Hanson and McKean, all Senators Priola and Bridges, concerning increasing consumer access to electric motor vehicles by allowing electric motor vehicle manufacturers to sell their own electric motor vehicles directly to consumers.
Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me explain why we are doing this, members. In order to make sure, almost like PIing a bill in committee, to make sure that a bill doesn't come back on the floor, we have to make sure that the reconsideration is closed out. So I'm going to ask for a no vote on the reconsideration. It does take 2/3 for it to pass. Again, I'm going to ask for a no vote. This will effectively PI the bill.
The question before the House is permission for reconsideration of the last House action on House Bill 1325. This requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any further discussion? If not, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. You want to be excused after this vote? Sure. Representative Harrod. Representative Harrod, please vote. Please close the machine. With 25 aye votes, 39 no votes, and 1 excused, the motion to reconsider is lost. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, we're going to do, first of all, great morning. Good to see you guys. We did a lot of work earlier today. We're going to do just a little bit more work before afternoon committees meet. So I'm going to add 1 bill to the special orders calendar. We're going to get through a few, and then we'll have enough time to break before we get to afternoon committees. I say that just as like hoping that's what we do. So with that, Madam Speaker, I would move to add 1 bill, House Bill 1326, to the special orders calendar on Wednesday, April 24th at 12:30 p.m.
Seeing no objection, 1 bill will be added to the special orders calendar according to Majority Leader Garnett at 12:30 today. Representative Buenteo. You have heard the motion. Seeing no objection, Representative Buenteo will take the chair. Representative Baisley is excused. gosh, my back is killing me.
The committee will come to order. A little peppier than I thought. Sorry. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee amendments are printed and in your bill folders. Folder amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads. Bills will be laid over upon a motion of the majority leader, and the coat rule is relaxed. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1326.
House Bill 1326 by Representatives Eskar and Hansen.
Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I apologize. I thought that got added to the end of the special orders calendar. I move that we lay over House Bill 1326 until the end of the special orders calendar.
The motion has been moved. Seeing no objection, this will be laid or House Bill 1326 will be laid over to the end of the special orders as requested. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 192, or Senate Bill 192. Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to also lay over Senate Bill 192 until the end of the special orders calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader. Seeing no objection, Senate Bill 192 will be laid over to the end of the special orders calendar. Mr. Randall, or excuse me, Mr. Majority Leader, can I talk? Oh, okay. Mr. Randall, can you please read the title of House Bill 197? Senate Bill 197.
Senate Bill 197 by Senator Zenzinger, also Representative Kennedy, concerning the continuation of the pilot program to allow an eligible person with a spinal cord injury to receive complementary or alternative medicine.
Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 197 and the Health and Insurance Committee report.
To the committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, in the Health and Insurance Committee, we just made a conforming amendment to make sure that in addition to extending the waiver, we're also extending the study of the efficacy of the waiver. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any objection? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Health and Insurance Report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Seeing none, the motion is passed. To the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I am honored to bring forward Senate Bill 197 today. I was brought this bill by a constituent of mine who operates a clinic in my district called the Chanda Plan Foundation that gives alternative treatments to folks with spinal cord injuries, seeking to move away from pharmacological treatments more towards physical therapy, acupuncture, chiropractic care, massage, other things that have really improved the quality of life and actually reduced healthcare spending on things like pharmaceuticals. So this is a great continuation of a program that helps improve the quality of life while providing a more effective care to people with spinal cord injuries. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the bill? Seeing none, all those in favor of Senate Bill, the question before us is Senate Bill 197. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Senate Bill 197 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 202.
Senate Bill 202 by Senators Danielson and Zenzinger, also Representative Froelich, concerning ballot access for voters with disabilities and in connection with making an appropriation.
Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 202 and the State Affairs and Appropriations Committee reports.
To the State Affairs and Appropriation, to the Appropriations Committee report.
The
Excuse me,
appropriations appropriated. I ask for an aye vote.
Excuse me, there is no Appropriations Committee report. I've been corrected. Apparently there is a State Veterans and Military Affairs report.
I move the State Affairs report. They amended the bill to bring in the Secretary of State and the clerks on board, and I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the State Veterans and Military Affairs report? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of the Committee of the State Veterans and Military Affairs report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The committee report passes. To the bill. Representative Froelich.
Thank you. Members, Senate Bill 202 addresses the remaining challenges for visually impaired people and other voters with disabilities experience specific to mail ballots. I just wanted to note as well the current ongoing Denver election that culminates on May 7th is using the technology that this bill employs. And the state of Maryland is giving Colorado the technology at no fee. I urge an aye vote on Senate Bill 202, a solution that provides voters with disability appropriate ballot access.
Thank you, Representative Froelich. Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 202? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 202. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Senate Bill 202 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 104.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 104, 4 bills.
All right. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Seeing no objection, the motion to lay over Senate Bill 104, 4 bills is before us. All those in favor say, or the motion is granted. Seeing no objection, the bill will be laid over as requested by the Assistant Majority Leader. Thank you. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 187.
Senate Bill 187 by Senators Lee and Gardner, also Representatives Byrd and McKean, concerning commissions on judicial performance.
Representative McKean.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Folks, we bring before you a bill that effectively gives us a better process for the selection of our judges. It really, literally gets better information to us and makes sure that vacancy appointments are made in a timely manner. I would ask for an aye vote. Oh, and hold on. I move Senate Bill 187 and the committee report.
No
reports. Just move Senate Bill 187.
The Representative Byrd.
Madam Chair, members, thank you for taking time to consider Senate Bill 187. This is a great bill that creates a more efficient process for nominating our judges and obtaining feedback about their performance and all those good things. We urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Representative Byrd. Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 187? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 187. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The Senate Bill 187 passes. Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 85 and Senate Bill 135 until the end of the special orders calendar.
Seeing no objection, the motion to lay over the bills will be laid over as requested as per Mr. Assistant Majority Leader. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1326.
House Bill 1326 by Representatives Escar and Hansen, all senators considering and ranking considering rate flexibility on existing procedures in the Colorado Dental Health Care Program for low-income seniors.
Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a joint budget committee bill. It's a bill that will allow Colorado Dental Health Care Program for low-income seniors to serve approximately an additional 600 to 700 seniors per year. I just want to make sure you understand that this is for seniors who literally are, approximately 3,000 seniors that are over 60 and over, at or below 250% federal poverty rate, who do not have any Medicaid or any other form of dental coverage. They can try to receive this coverage. This is a conversation we had in the Joint Budget Committee that actually originated from myself from knocking on doors and talking to the needs of my constituents. One of the big concerns was lack of dental coverage, so I'd ask for an aye vote.
Representative Hansen.
Thank you, and I move House Bill 1326.
The motion for. Oh, Representative Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, there's a reason this is a joint budget committee bill. It's because it pays long-term dividends for our state budget. If we're helping seniors take good care of their dental health, oral health, we know that that has long-term savings on the rest of our healthcare spending across the state. So I urge your support of 1326.
Thank you, Representatives Hansen and Escar. Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1326? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1326. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? House Bill 1326 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill, or excuse me, Mr. Assistant Majority Leader. My apologies.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate your accommodating the changes that are coming up on the fly today. But we have moved through all the bills that we intend to move through today. So I move that the committee rise and report.
Seeing no objection, the committee of the whole will, the House will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Randall, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker, your committee whole basically reported has under its recommendations thereon. House Bill 1326 passed or supposed to counter 30 on final passage. Senate Bill 187, Senate Bill 197 is amended. Senate Bill 202 is amended, passed or revised, placed counter 30 on final passage.
Representative Buenteo. You have heard the motion. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Members, we're voting on the Committee of the Whole report. No cows. Beckman, Benavides, Byrd, Buckner, Coleman, Cutter, Duran, Gonzalez Gutierrez, Lontine, McLaughlin, Mullica, Singer, Snyder, Valdez, Van Winkle, Wilson. Representative Donald Valdez, Representative Gonzalez Gutierrez are excused. Representative Singer is excused. Patrick. Do you want me to excuse Van Winkle? Representative Van Winkle is excused. Representative Snyder is excused. Representative Alex Valdez is excused. Representative Duran. Oh, there he is. Representative Valdez is here. Valdez A. Representative Duran is excused. Representative Valdez A., how do you vote? With 38 aye votes, 19 no votes. Oh, I'm sorry, please close the machine. With 38 aye votes, 19 no votes, and 8 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is passed. Announcements and introductions. No announcements and introductions. I think Representative Hansen has one.
Thanks so much, Madam Speaker. And members of House Appropriations, our journey together continues. We will not be meeting today. No meeting today. I agree, Representative Bockenfeld. Thank you for that. But tomorrow morning, we're going to be threading the needle between floor and Ledge Council. We will gavel in at 8:30.
For appropriations.
For appropriations. And we have Committee Room 112 reserved at 8:30 gavel for House Appropriations tomorrow morning. Let me share with you the bills that we will be considering. We have just been confirming this morning. We've got the canaries ready, and you will have those very shortly to the members of House Appropes. But here's the bill list. 1017, 1161, House Bill 1236, House Bill 1287, House Bill 1297, 1310, Senate Bills 30, 149, 165, 171, 179, 190, 196, 216, and Senate Bill 220. On our agenda for tomorrow, there's a chance we may add a couple others, but I'll get those to you as quickly as I possibly can. Look forward to seeing you at 8:30 in room 112.
Members, I have an announcement. Representative Pelton will substitute for Representative Sandridge in business today only. Representative Larson will substitute for Representative Buckman in finance today only. And Representative Wilson will substitute for Representative Williams in business today only. Any other announcements? Representative Weissman, do you have no other announcements? Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar until tomorrow.
Well, no, until later today.
I'm sorry. I retract that motion, and I move that we lay over the balance.
I'm sorry. You can lay over the balance of the calendar till today. Tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow's fine.
Today is tomorrow today. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar until tomorrow.
The balance of the calendar will be laid over till tomorrow. Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the House stand in recess until later today.
The House will be in recess until later today. Members, those of you that have interim committee requests, don't forget, Ledge Council is meeting tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning in room 271.